March 22nd of this year, we cast votes as related to the recall of Catherine Wildman from the Tarrant Appraisal District Board of Directors. On March 18th, we nominated Mr. Vincent Puente as our nominee, and today we are asking the court to pass an order to cast your 515 votes. We did receive a letter from Mr. Law, the Executive Director and Chief Appraiser at TAD. There are two candidates. One is Maddie Peterson Compton, and the other is Vince Puente Sr. So what we're asking the court today is to choose one of those and pass an order which allocates our 515 votes for that particular candidate.
All right, thank you. I would like to make a motion to...
You have a speaker, sir?
Yeah, I know how it works.
Okay, sir, thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to cast all 515 votes for Vince Puente Sr.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, seeing none, we do have one person signed up to speak to this item. Mr. Bennett?
Sorry, Your Honor, I've been glossed over before. My name is Dan Bennett. Start the clock, please. Thank you. As you might recall, we have two candidates, Mark Wood and Mr. Johnny Bennett. I called Tad this morning, and Mr. Mark Wood already has enough votes to be on the board. As we did last year, I motion that we give all 545 votes to Mr. Johnny Bennett. Second? Yep. Passed. Done. Now, what year was that? Wasn't this year? I've been through this before. Same verbiage, same everything. Mr. Figgis knows what I'm talking about. When are we going to stop this politicization of this TAD board? Now, I don't dislike Mr. Fuentes. I know him on a request for time. They're not the problem. The problem is the process. I want to know, is Mr. Law's letter in today's agenda? When you click on that link, does it post? I'm going to say it doesn't. I got more money with me. My internet's broke. I couldn't tell. I'm going to bet it doesn't. When you guys nominated Mr. Fuentes and Maddie was brought to the attention of the public, where were the resumes? They weren't there. The process itself was convoluted. Judge O'Hare spoke over Mr. Brooks. Mr. Brooks couldn't wait to make that nomination. Lying in wait. You guys dismissed the only lady on the board. It wasn't very gentlemanly of you. No one asked her if she had a nomination. Now, did you all talk back and break the open quorum rule, knowing she didn't have one? Is that what you're admitting to publicly? I don't think so. I just think you were so driven ideology that you did what you did. And I know you, at the True Texas Project, promised the public to get the most qualified person for this board. And we're going to differ on that. I say you didn't. You got to put the best people forward, and they failed. They failed. That's the bottom line. And if we can't do that, why would anybody else want to get into the process? We always talk about low voter turnout. This is the reason. I went to a Democratic meeting in Parker County last night, and the guy that helped Nettles beat Jungus Jordan was there. I spoke to him. I agree with his message of good governance. So Jungus Jordan deserved to lose. Now, he's on the TAD board. I know I have somebody there that don't agree with the idea of good governance. And I spoke to Maddie Parker at the Commonwealth, and she showed up. And we had this discussion. And she agreed to disagree. That Betsy Price and her train wreck TAD, along with this board train wreck TAD, with Mark Wood, and the rest of the people you put on with Joe Pothoff. I don't need replication. I need items fixed. I need competent people. And that's what I want on this board. I'm not saying he's not competent, but the way we're going about the process is not transparent, and you're no better than the person you removed, Catherine Wildman. I spent 4 years with her.
Okay, your time.
And this board did the same stinking thing. Thank you so much. In public comments, I want to do something quick. We got a law passed because of what this court did. Judge Whitley I don't know if he acted GK at the behest of Judge Whitley, but he did call Tad up the day they voted to put Mark Wood and cast those ballots. In 2017, I watched that video. I knew exactly how the board was going to act in 2017, so I set this board up. I had 3 taxing entities of 362 votes delay their vote until after the commissioner court. And then I came down here and walked up to the dais, just like I did today, Judge. I had pleaded with Judge Whitley to vote. After all the recognition for all the tenured employees, he came back, and what did he do? He tabled. Really, tabling is just for the intermeeting versus Robert Rules of Order. So what he did was incorrect procedurally. But the idea was they were going to push their vote until after December 9th of that year, to December 14th, the very last day you could vote in the cycle. Because then Keller was still out, Eagle Mountain Saginaw was still out, and South Lake Carroll was still out. They wanted Mark Wood on this board. So what did GK do? Instead of letting the process play out, now these are public votes, and you can sit there and categorize them, but he said he called Tad. So who did he talk to, Jeff Law? I would bet he talked to Jeff Law. So what I did, after making it apparent what he had done, we went down to Austin and got the law changed. Now, this body must vote in the first 2 meetings of the cycle come October 30th. You must vote in the first or second. Now, I put this court in a precarious situation. Anybody over 5% of 5,000 votes must go first. That means Fort Worth ISD, Fort Worth, Commissioner Court, Tarrant County College, Keller, and Arlington ISD. Because this is coming up. This is coming up in the future. And I totally disagree with what the administrative court did. It bastardized the process, is what it did. So I had to go down to Austin and change it. What a horrible thing for a citizen to have to do. Now, we need to expand this board. We don't need to take away votes from this body, because if you do, then you can actually reduce your funding to the tax budget. I don't want that. We need to be able to add 2 more people to the TAD board. I proposed a path forward under the property tax code to do so. 6.031, I've given it to Mr. Wynn. He has it. No mention of it to anybody. I've heard crickets, and I'm not going to push it. I bring solutions, but you can lead a horse to the pond, you can't make it drink. There you go. And that's what I'm going to say. And we need to take hold of the process this year and represent every taxing entity and give them participation and a say. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Gerald Jackie Cox.